Hey there, thanks for stopping by. Let's keep rolling and going through all of the parts for Incarnate in its alpha stage. Today's focus, we're going to talk about the legendary Titan parts. Let's jump right in. So we'll quickly go through each of the parts. We'll go to the hall to see what this Incarnate looks like, and then we'll get into gameplay. The mind part is called Caldera, the body part is called Faultline, and the soul part is called Pyroclasm. Let's go ahead to the hall, take a look. We're looking for that Titan portrait icon, and that's what the Titan looks like here. So we're looking for that gold border and all red buttons there to indicate that they're all Titan parts. Here we go. So there's the gold border, all red buttons for Titans, and we have a life affinity Incarnate. And we get that life affinity as long as two parts that the Incarnate's using are life. Two parts or more are life. So we've got Caldera, which is life affinity. We've got Faultline, life affinity, and Pyroclasm, life affinity. So I keep saying it, but simple math, 3 is greater than 2. That shows you that you're going to get the life affinity Incarnate there. Again, as long as you have 2 or more. Let's take a quick look at the Incarnate here. So this one is like that warrior melee style, huge hammer, kind of beastly looking, kind of forged out of a volcano or the pits of hell. It's pretty awesome. Get closer in here, you can see the great just detail going on with all the parts and stuff like that. He's got some rocks coming out as kind of, we'll say armor, maybe, I'm not sure, but again, kind of forged from that magma. Looks just pretty insane and just badass looking. So let's get into the gameplay. All right, the first skill we're going to go over is called Caldera. It's the mind part. So let's read it. Caldera. For 3 turns, gain aura 4. When enemies enter your space, lower their space by 1 and burn them for 1 turn. So that aura is static. It's not based off of any of your stats. The important piece about this aura is that the enemy has to go into or move inside that aura. If you place this aura and then we move so that the enemy Incarnate goes into that aura, they don't lower down. They have to actively take a move action. So we're going to try to see that here. I'm going to show you that it doesn't work if you bring them into your aura, and then hopefully they move inside that aura, and then they actually get lowered and they have a burn. And we'll talk about burn when that buff is applied. So let's go ahead and use it. You can see that the aura is applied for 3 turns, just like it should, and it's highlighting here. So I'm going to try to get it so that the enemy Incarnate moves inside of that aura. So we will try to go somewhere here and hope that their range is not greater than 4. So we'll go ahead and end the turn. There they go. They move. There's the drop. There's the burn. So that burn was placed for 1 turn. So the burn, though, is a 5% damage when at the start of the turn. So what I didn't see there was interesting, was that they actually took damage or anything like that. So we'll actually have to take a look at that in the replay and make sure that they took damage. And if they didn't, then I'm not sure if that's actually how we want the skill to work, and I'll talk to the developers about that. All right, so here we are. I've got the video back up from the recording I just did, and I just wanted to make sure that the skill for Caldera was working right, because that burn was applied and I didn't see it tick. So I'm just going to rewatch it and then see what actually happens, and then just talk about my thoughts on it. So I got it to the point. So what we're doing, we've got Caldera applied here, the enemy moves and the burn happens, it gets placed, but it didn't tick. And the reason it doesn't tick is because that ticks at the start of the enemy Incarnate's turn. So what it's doing, it's getting applied, they're ending that turn, and then it goes away. So effectively, it's just the buff doesn't work, or the debuff doesn't work at all. I mean, you get no damage out of it. So I think that's probably supposed to work a little bit differently. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to provide that feedback to the developers and let them know that, hey, it gets applied, but you get no damage from it because it gets removed right away. So I'm going to go ahead and let them know about that, see what they say, and get some feedback on that. If I get something really soon or fast, I'll go ahead and toss a comment down below and let you know what I find. All right, so the next skill we're going to go over is called Pyroclasm. It's the soul part, and we'll go ahead and read it. Lower the spaces in line 0+4 by 2, then attack enemies that were lowered and apply bleed and burn to them for 2 turns. So we'll take a look at what the debuffs are when we apply them. But what this is going to do is going to take that 4 spaces in that line, drop the spaces by 2, and then apply those debuffs. Just note over here in the actual card, it says line AoE plus presence. So that 4 is based off your presence stat. And in this case, we have a value of 4. And the AoE is another modifier that we don't have access to in the game right now. But so it's set to 0 right now, and I expect it to be updated in the future builds. So let's go ahead and use it and see what it looks like. Let's get a little bit more focused here. And here we go. There we go. So there was the reduction in space, the 2 down. And then we've got the burn. So you take 5% damage per burn you have at the start of your turn. So that will damage the enemy Incarnate at the start of each turn. Then there's also this bleed. So they have a 50% reduction in attack, and they take damage when they either move or attack. So we'll go ahead and let this attack and show you that it does tick. So there's the enemy attack, and there is the tick from bleed. And you also saw the tick from the burn. So that's working just fine. The last skill we want to go through is, I haven't played around with these legendary parts too much. I was actually fortunate enough to get them provided to me rather than hunting for them with drop rates. So I haven't really played with this, but from what I hear, it's pretty awesome. So the next one is called Fault Line. It's the body part. So let's read it. Teleport to the edge of the battlefield, attack enemies in lower spaces by 4 in your path, heal for 30% of your max HP. So you can see that all the spaces there are highlighted. So I expect this to go and teleport all the way out to this space, and then every single one of these items, or every single one of these spaces are going to be lowered by at least 1. No, by 4, sorry. They're going to lower by 4. And then I'm also going to heal for 30% of my max HP. So I should get a full health bar because I've got less than 30% missing. So I should get a full health bar. I should see every single one of these go down by 4, and they should take damage as well. So let's go ahead and use it. I hope it's as cool as people are saying it is. Oh, that is awesome. That is definitely awesome. It's definitely worth the hype that people were making it out to be. So we saw all of those spaces being dropped down by 4. We saw the attack there. And let's go double check my health. Sure enough, yep, I've healed the full health. So that was perfect. That was that was awesome. That's probably one of my favorite animations that I've seen so far in the game. So pretty awesome ability. All right, so there we go. Another quick video on just all the legendary Titan parts. If you found it informative, toss a like. If you like the content, feel free to subscribe. Toss some comments down below. Like I said, if I find out some more information on that Caldera and how it really works, I'll let you guys know via the comments. By far, Fault Line has been my favorite animation and favorite skill to use. That thing was freaking awesome. Jumping all the way across the map, dropping all those spaces, and doing some pretty hefty damage. That thing was again, that was just awesome. I appreciate you guys watching, and hope you liked it, and we'll see you in the next one.